Hi, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today, the other thing that I want us to look into is how George Baloyi is trying to not only convince the judge that Undanzi is not credible, but he is busy paving a way to going to deal with the confessions. But right now, is using other tactics to make sure by the time he reaches confessions, or Ndanzi's so-called confessions, he would have planted a seed. He would have prostituted the judge's mind by feeding him with that. I choose number two, Bongani Ndanzi is unreliable. I choose number two, Bongani Ndanzi is a liar. I choose number two, Bongani Ndanzi says this today and says that tomorrow. And I choose number two, can't keep up with what he says. All those things, that's what he is trying to do when it comes to making sure Bongani Ndanzi looks like a dishonest, untrustworthy person. That's what he is doing there. And that's what Judge Rata is also falling for in that chair. Yes, because that is what another angle that he's using. Because what we are watching right now, it's not just cross-examination, it's a battle of control, a control that he knows that he has lost. He knows that he has lost. And as much as he is fighting like that, and then we have control, we have something that has shifted, not in evidence, not in law, but in the energy of the courtroom itself. In the energy of the courtroom itself, because the prosecutor, George Baloyi, is doing these calculated moves, and his mission is simple, as I already said in the previous video: break Ndanzi, destroy his credibility, use that distraction to strengthen the confession narrative. That is what he is trying to do. How is he doing it? He does not attack once. No, he doesn't. You attack over time. That's what he is doing there. He's attacking over time. He goes for back to previous answers, back to evidence in chief, back to arrest details, back to timelines, again and again and again. That's what he does there. The goal is not the truth, Nkosiam. No, it is not the truth. The goal is to make sure Ndanzi contradicts himself. But now, the failure in that, the so-called big contradiction that he's looking for is nowhere to be found, because one contradiction can poison everything. One huge contradiction can poison everything. Now, the strategy is confusing. Eh? It's one of those confusion strategies. This is where it gets so surgical. Man. This is what you are seeing as a person who's watching the Senzo Mewa case. Overloading the witness with dates, statements, past answers, new angles, all thrown at once. Why is he doing that? Because under pressure, memory cracks. He's banking on that. Credibility collapses. This is known in a court. This is a known courtroom tactic. If I can't catch you lying, I will make you forget and then call it a lie. That's what he is doing, and that's a game. But unfortunately for him, the game is not gaming. The game, oh Nkosiam, the game is not gaming for Baloyi. The game is not going, is not gaming. Something went wrong, né? Because here's the problem for him. The strategy only works if the witness breaks. Yep. That strategy works if the witness breaks. And right now, Ndanzi is not breaking. He is calm, direct, consistent in tone, refusing to be rushed, and that changes everything. Because in a courtroom, confidence is not just emotion. It becomes evidence of credibility. So instead of this, we caught him sleeping, Baloyi. Baloyi, instead of him getting Undanzi sleeping also, we are catching out on him sleeping because he's the one that is struggling there. Now, instead of him catching Undanzi sleeping also, we are getting, he is still standing Undanzi. He's not sleeping Undanzi yet. Baloyi is. Ndanzi is still standing, and that is what is dangerous for the state, because whatever they try, Undanzi stands firm. Untanzi stands firm. You know, in courtrooms, you repeat things because you want to make sure the same answer is still going to be given. And now there is something that is dangerous about repeating things too much. Now, if you watch closely, because something subtle is happening that way, Baloyi keeps going back, forward, back again, forward again, back again, same issues, nothing new. He repeats the same thing, same issues, the same areas, same ground. And when that happens, the courtroom start asking, what are you actually proving? Ujudge Ratha, guys, no matter uyintoni na, he knows ukuthi ngumbhedo lento. He knows this is nonsense. Because repeating without results is not pressure, it's exposure for Baloyi. He is getting exposed. And that tells Ujudge Ratha, I am still looking, I haven't found anything. And Ujudge Ratha knows Baloyi has nothing on that. She knows. I don't care who he is, what he does, etc., etc. Ujudge Ratha knows. He's watching, he's listening, and that is where it gets even more serious, because Ujudge Ratha is not just listening to answers. He's watching the direction of the questions, the purpose behind them, whether the cross-examination is progressing, and when there are warning signs like don't touch something new, but the questioning cycles back anyway, that creates tension, not loud tension, judicial tension. And Ujudge Ratha is sitting there thinking, how am I going to get out of this one? Because even if I want to try whatever, it matters everything, because trials are not just about evidence, they're about judicial perception. So he is already paraded to Ujudge Ratha with a lot of scrutiny from the public. Even if he doesn't care, he may say he doesn't. No, he does care. He may say he doesn't care what we say about him. He cares, and it lands to him. Kabuhlungu kamnandi. Kabuhlungu kamnandi. Now let's expose the real objective here, because the entire strategy is not about arrest details, minor inconsistencies, memory gaps. It's about one thing, the confessions. One thing, confession. Because legally, a confession must be freely made, voluntarily, reliable. So what does the state need? A witness who looks unreliable, so that they can argue, don't trust what he says in court, trust what he said in the confession. But here is the danger when it comes to that. If the witness holds strong, that argument collapses. Ubaloyi is just playing and does, and and now we reach the turning point, because something unexpected is happening. Instead of Ntanzi collapsing, we are seeing Ntanzi stabilizing. And when that happens, the entire strategy flips, and suddenly reputation looks like fishing, pressure looks like frustration, persistence looks like weakness, and the courtroom starts to feel it, the shift. Because Ubaloyi is using desperation, don't say. He is so desperate, Kubi. This is the moment you don't want to miss, because in trials, control is control is invisible, right? Until it isn't, ne? And right now, it looks like control is no longer fully with the state. If Baloyi cannot land a clean contradiction, huge, major contradiction, tie the inconsistencies together, break the witness before closing, then everything we've seen becomes noise, not proof. And that leaves one devastating question hanging in the courtroom. If you could not break him here, why should the court believe the confession? Why? He failed to break Ntanzi. That strategy of trying to confuse Ntanzi, make him dizzy with all these details, Ntanzi stands firm, and his answers are not changing. They are the same, unless you are stupid. Unless you are stupid, we are not stupid, Sina. We see, we listen to understand. Then if you are stupid, you are going to say Ntanzi is a liar, Ntanzi kwasha kwacima kwachini. Unless you are stupid, guys. Undanzi for me is holding strong. He is holding in very, very strong. And there is nothing Ubalo can do or cannot do about it. Do you understand? What are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.